been a long time.
It has
The new
been a
the new
while,
way the new way of things of running shows. So welcome
but we
to
here
the
now.
to Open Call. I am Cory Wilson, familiar face with the nice background. And Took, it must be very cold where you are, Mr. Vishal Chef.
More just a bad hair situation.
Like this?
Yeah, exactly. Like potentially
Vogue?
worse. Like actually, significantly worse than yours. So I
I don't know.
decided just
Mine's
to.
thinning and all kinds of. Need some like Rogaine or is it Keeps or whatever the
Yeah,
new
why don't we
things.
get keeps on here?
I don't know. That's not
they
to
won't. They
knock
won't.
our
They
good
won't
friends
talk to
over at
us.
Fatco.
That's right.
Gotta get some money made. Well,
So
so we are in the MCU era of green screening a podcast,
that's right.
digitally entering backgrounds so people cannot see my suit collection hanging off the back of my door in or the television or posters, etc., etc.
I know that you are very like against the overuse of CGI. I'm against the like overuse of it too, of things that, probably unnecessary and you don't need to use them and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, it's always like if I don't notice it in the movie, like while I'm watching it in the theater, if
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't stand out and completely take me out of it, I don't like it's not enough to like be bothered about. And if I you know, find out a week later, oh, so and so wasn't even in the same room because of, you know, prior engagements or COVID or whatever, or like the in No Way Home with the gun being CGI'd and stuff. And I'm like, at that point, sure, if I see it 2 weeks later and it's like, yeah, it was a like half of a gun that was the rest of it was CGI'd. I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell when I was watching the movie. And then now, I might look for it, but that kind of stuff, it just doesn't bother me at all. Versus things like bad CGI, like in the first Spider-Man when they're when they're like hanging out after the ferry boat incident,
Yeah.
and like the background is just god awful. Like it's so distracting from the entire movie. And yeah, so like all this like someone told me that I guess I think you were telling me that they were still working on No Way Home's CGI and editing and stuff like that even after
Yeah,
the
they're
movie
still
came
changing
out.
it.
Yeah, and so if you go see it again, then it might look better. And I don't know if I would even notice. Like I didn't notice anything too egregious like when we went to see it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I don't know, like unless I'm really looking for it, if I'm watching it back and like pausing and being like, well, that doesn't look great.
Yeah.
I think the however much CGI they want to use, as long as it's not obvious, I like they could animate the entire movie if they make it look great.
You've been watching the Olympics?
This year, not so much, not as much as other years,
Yeah.
and I don't know. Like I was so into the summer ones. Summer's always been my more like I prefer it just because there's volleyball, so that's awesome, of course. But all the events, not all, most of the events make sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas winter has a lot of the like biathlon, like why does skiing and shooting, why do they have to be together?
Well,
And
it's
like
for when you're up in the Arctic and you need to do a ski by shooting.
yeah, but
Pull out your crossbow and
yeah, at the same time you could be like, well, why does anyone need to walk very quickly? for the Summer Olympics.
Speed walking.
Yeah, you know,
The
like,
worst part of the speed walking is not the speed walking; it's watching people speed walk.
well, like
The way their
apparently
hips
there's
and stuff
very
go.
strict rules,
It's hilarious.
but for the Winter Olympics, I just find there are many more events that I don't get it. I don't get.
Well, my other thing is because we're in Canada with the Winter Olympics, a lot of what's in it you could watch any day of the week on a sports channel, like the curling, you got hockey. They show a lot of speed skating. They show a lot of figure skating.
Yep.
It's really, really, like you said, like
It's those like
the odd ducks,
and even if
biathlons and
if you're like on the West Coast and stuff, I'm sure that they're showing off like skiing and snowboarding events where we might not see it here in Ontario until is X Games still a thing? Or so like, you know, when the X Games are around, then you see those like half pipes and quarter pipes and 1/10 pipe. I don't know the pipes.
a corn cod pipe.
Yeah, you know. But yeah, and I think you guys talked about it last week with the hockey. I normally would have been very excited about it, but none of the NHLers are there, so it's kind of my interest is pretty weak on that.
Well, going back to your point, the reason why I asked is that I guess because of the COVID protocols, like all the interviews with the athletes is all green screen CGI, which is why I pulled this picture. It's like the I can't remember her name, whoever she's interviewing here. They're not in the same room.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's green screen. And like it looks, you know, semi okay and it's still, but when you're watching it, you can see that it's beyond obvious that they're not locking eyes. The guy's looking dead into a camera.
Yeah.
We watched one today where the guy was interviewing two, I guess it was the snowboard cross team, the ones that won bronze. And it was obvious that even those two were not in the same room, but they're standing next to each other. And
like
Scott Oak is, so Scott Oak is like positioned to look at the guy with the girl next to him, and she's looking straight, which would be, I guess, just the interviewer's right, but definitely just not looking at him at all. But it's supposed to give the impression that they're all in the same room. And then because, you know, she's got longer hair, you can see like the flex, much like over your right shoulder, you can see the flex of the green.
Yeah, that's my chair.
But
yeah,
that's
hilarious.
CGI, that's
like, I mean, at that point, why not just have like a
split screen?
Just be just be 6 feet apart in a
I don't know.
You know, like it's not like being 3 feet apart digitally is any better than 6 feet apart in person, and you get much more like a much more real interview, right? Like, and get the reactions like at the time instead of, I don't know if there's any delays or anything.
Yeah, I think not even delays. It's like you said, if you're not in the room with someone and you're just hearing them in your ear, it's not as like authentic.
Yeah, and I mean that was my thought with us going to video. Like, whether other people saw it or not, it was a lot easier than the way we were doing it before, where it was just audio and we were just staring at computer screens.
Yeah, that's especially when we have the no-faced wonder here, Ryan. With his little avatar. Like, if there's like silence at all, because you can't see, even if you can't see the screen being frozen, you don't know if they got dropped or whatever.
Yeah.
And then
technical difficulties.
When we were doing it, it was not even just couldn't see. It was that we're recording on our own computers and compiling.
Yeah, it was like 2 streams of audio.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Trying to line it up.
Days.
Yeah. It's like 3, 2, 1. Okay, hit record. Oh no, I missed the button.
Oh no, I missed it. Or I think there was at least one, if not more, but definitely one where I like thought I hit record but didn't.
Yeah, 5 minutes.
And so like we had an hour's worth of talking where it was just your half. Ah, those are the days.
Yeah.
And like I would say that was when we were starting off, but like we were
Oh.
probably a year in at that point.
It's like the second or third renaming of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was always like after a break. Let's get into this again.
Like, do we want to try and just run that again? No.
No, we're good. So you saw the big news about Futurama coming back,
Yeah, on Hulu,
and then it turned into, "Hey, this is great," to, "Oh no."
because Bender is not Bender, right?
As of right now, yeah, Mr. DiMaggio is not signed.
Well, I mean, what's the point?
Yeah, that's what everyone's saying, right? First, it sounded like they were going to go a different way, and now it seems like, as per usual, money
Yeah.
gets in the way. Just, like, how many times do you think they can keep going back to the well on Futurama? This is what,
like,
the third revival? Fourth?
Yeah, I don't think it. Are we gonna? Didn't they have like a string of like hour to hour and a half long kind
Yeah.
of movie episodes? Right.
Mhm.
That was one of their like. Oh, we can come back as like a two part episode, but put it all together, or like three episodes in one and just put it all together. I
Mhm.
thought those were pretty good. Like the one with the Harlem Globetrotters, and there was a bunch of like it was the one where, oh wait, maybe this was actually part of the TV show. See, this is how long ago it's been since I
Yeah,
watched
it's
it.
been a
But the
while.
one where like Fry is trying to tell Leela that he loves her,
Yeah.
and he like learns how to play that freaky like flute saxophone thing, trumpet, whatever. Um, but like all of those I thought were pretty good. But if they're trying to come back and just make new shows, I don't know. I also thought the first time I read this headline, I thought it was just that all the episodes were going to be available on Hulu, and like that's just what
Yeah.
it was going to be.
That's kind of what I thought too. And then
Which
it turned
like
into too
that would
much.
be enough, I think. Like I don't think they need to bring it back. They would just need to have all of the episodes available somewhere, and that would be like more than good enough.
Because it's not on Disney Plus, right?
I
Or the
think it's
Star version of
on
it.
Star. I think it is on it though.
Okay.
Because
So this
I
should be
know
technically on Hulu.
I've watched it somewhere, but it may have been on Plex. I don't know.
Yeah, the fear is, like I said before, because now there's so many platforms, is anything that's has a decent enough following that's over is likely to going to come back in some
Yeah.
form or another. And with animation, that's the easiest way to start.
Yeah, Futurama is on Disney Plus in their Star kind of
So with Family
category.
Guy,
Um, and yeah, it goes all the way up to season 10. So I don't know if that includes the like extra long episodes.
I think so, because I think when
I
they
think they're just like mixed into like ending of seasons.
yeah, I think when they aired on, was it Adult Swim? I think they put them on later. They like broke
Yeah.
them up into
Oh
actual
yeah,
episodes.
yeah. Okay, so here it is. So season 6 has Bender's Big Score Part 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then Beast with a Billion Backs 1, 2, 3, 4. Bender's Game 1, 2, 3, 4. Into the Wild Green Yonder 1, 2, 3, 4. So season 4 is 4 kind of movie-ish
Yeah,
episodes, and then season 7 we get back into the regular 22-minute episodes.
yeah, because that's what happened, right? The movies, and then they came back because of the movies.
Yeah,
Similar to, I guess, Family Guy, right?
yeah.
DVD sales brought them back. This is enough fans were clamoring for it.
Was the when did Family Guy do their like Star Wars parodies? Was that like in that same vein of like we had
Shit, yeah.
episodes, we're gonna come back and do these, and then they kind of drummed up enough, I don't know, excitement, I
Well, I know
guess,
it was
for it.
before Ted because um, I think was it the Return of the Jedi spoof one, like the crawl, like legit specifically mentions Ted. Like it's when they say they just like lower your expectations. Like we were
Yeah.
like we were exhausted from doing the last two, but Fox wanted us to do another one, and they were dead set on it because they have to make their money and basically do this, and we'll let you go to Universal do Ted, and so when Ted came out, was it 2015?
Oh, 4, 5.
No, I think it's
What?
later than that. We got two of them.
2015 for Ted?
Come on, 2013,
Maybe it was. Well, it was definitely after the Chris Rock.
2012.
Yeah,
2012.
Okay, Ted was 2012.
Maybe Ted 2 was like 2015.
Maybe, yeah.
Possible. All right, so there you go.
So
I think it was like back to back to back. It was definitely 3 seasons in a row from the show. It was like there's, I don't know if this is the finale.
Oh, like it was built into the show. It wasn't like
No, it
that
was definitely
like
into
they
the
were on
show.
a hiatus, and then they're like, "Oh, okay, hey, we'll make this movie," and then they did two more, and then decided on like coming back.
Yeah, it seems to be an animation thing. I can know with South Park when they were running out of ideas, they had a script for a movie that they were going to do. Kind of, I think I read it as like kind of like to cap off the show, or at least as a way of wrapping it up. And they were so burned for ideas that they just took the script, made 3 episodes with it.
Oh, okay. So I'm looking
I
on
feel as though this
Disney
is the
Plus
same.
again, and season 8, the season finale is something 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 Dark Side Part 1 and 2, and then I'm assuming 9. Yeah, 9 has It's a Trap Part 1 and 2, which makes season 10 not have it.
Well, It's a Trap would be the Jedi one.
Oh yeah, okay. So then maybe it was season. What did I say first? Season 5,
7, 6 or 7.
7. Yeah, I don't know where the New Hope one is. Oh, there it is. Blue Harvest is the first episode of season 6, and then season 7, or no, there's a pretty big break between that and their Empire spoof. Season 6, episode 1 and 2 was Blue Harvest, and then season 8 finale was, and then season 9 finale.
You can only watch those as like the Blu-rays or the DVD versions where it's extended and it's not edited for content.
Yeah,
there's a lot of swearing in those.
It's the only true way to watch it.
Anything I say is like you have to watch it unedited.
Yeah. Otherwise, just what's the point?
Unless it's Ghostbusters, and if it's on, you watch it.
Yeah, that's true.
I saw this a couple weeks ago, but Apple TV Plus is doing a Godzilla spinoff series.
Yeah.
Why? Like we covered everything, did we not? With Godzilla and Godzilla 2 and Kong v Godzilla.
But there's
Dawn of
more
Monsters.
What is that? Is that one's called the Monsterverse? Is that it?
Yeah.
Didn't they leave something open in the last one? What was the last one? Godzilla versus Kong?
Yeah, and
what happened? Oh, they went into like the middle of the earth and stuff.
Yeah, Middle Earth.
No elves.
Like I said to you, I don't understand. So there's no humans in Middle Earth, but yet there's like this big indoor like fighting stadium with bleachers for against all the monsters to sit and watch Kong beat the crap out of other monsters.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, there's
like we said, there's just too many streaming platforms. We need content.
Yeah. It's like it's annoying, of course, and I think we've definitely talked about it before, but a few weeks ago, Ryan was saying something about how like it's just turning into cable, and like I semi disagree because like in this way, it sucks that all the shows are spread out into different. You got Netflix, Prime, Disney, Hulu, uh, Peacock, HBO, Crave, whatever, all those. But it's like if you just want to watch, let's say there's something that's on HBO,
Yep.
and you just want to watch it, you can like knock it out in a month or two. The fact that you can just kind of sign up and then cancel it, watch what you want, cancel it, wait for the next thing you want, and subscribe again, is way easier than the cable subscription model, right? Of
You
like,
gotta fight them, and
yeah, they're like, oh yeah, you got to sign on for a year, or we'll give you this if you get this bundle and this bundle, and I think having stuff like, okay, let's say I really want to watch this Godzilla show, whatever it ends up being on Apple TV Plus. Right now, from what I've heard, the only thing that is worth watching on Apple TV Plus is Ted Lasso. And
I still haven't
you know,
watched that.
it's fantastic. It's
Yeah,
I will agree with everything that I've heard. The first season especially is just unbelievable.
and they're doing
Um,
one more, right?
I think so. Well, I mean, yeah, they definitely set it up for a third one to happen. I don't know if they'll continue after that, but even the second one, there's like a couple of episodes where I was meh on, but in general, Jason Sudeikis, it's like it's that character that he plays in a lot of his movies. Um, but it's great. All the characters in it, the storyline, it's fantastic. And I think, did you guys end up watching the, was it the Daily Show, the morning show?
I never watched it.
Because I think
I
that
have
was
taste. No,
that was supposed to be like their
the crown jewel.
blockbuster show, right?
Yeah.
And I don't think it got like rave reviews or anything. And other than those two, I don't know what's on Apple TV Plus.
Snoopy.
Cool. So, but like that's the thing. If you really want to watch Ted Lasso, you could just sign up for Apple TV Plus for a month, or use their like 1 month free, or I don't know, 1 week free, or whatever it is, um, and then you just don't have to worry about it again. And it's the same with like Netflix or Disney. Maybe you just want to binge out on Boba Fett or something. Which I still have. I need to really get on to watching that. I wanted to last week and it just never happened. But like that's
You
where
need
I
to, and
think
also you
the,
don't need to.
yeah, I mean I've heard whatever about it. Um, but like that's the advantage of all of these streaming services, is it's so easy and convenient to sign up, cancel. Oh, I want to watch this. Sign up for it, and then a month later just cancel, wait for the next. I know a lot of people that did that with HBO. Like they would wait till the Game of Thrones season was like finished, sign up for it, binge that season, and then not worry about it for another year. Yeah,
Yeah, I know people who did that too. It was
right.
more
So like,
billions at the time.
yeah, and so like that, like, yes, it sucks that they're not all available on one thing, and they're all kind of heading to their own streaming services. But it's never been easier to sign up or cancel and watch whatever you want to watch, except for sports. Sports still sucks.
Yeah, you really have to stick with your your cable, because
Yeah.
the individual sport packages are so damned expensive.
Oh yeah. And a lot of them have the like
Blackouts,
blackouts.
especially
Yeah. Like
hockey.
I would. Well, even there was at one point where I was like, the only thing I really want to watch are basketball games, and I was looking into pricing for like NBA TV or NBA, whatever they call theirs. Um, But then it's like Raptors games are blacked out. Well, I'm like, well, that doesn't help me. Like I'm not trying to watch I'm not trying to watch the Wizards play, the Celtics. Like it would be fine. I would watch it, but that's not what I'm signing up for this service. Um
Not yet, at least.
well, yeah, I mean, we'll see. But that's where, and even then, like Sportsnet and TSN aren't in any bundle together. You'd have to get two bundles filled with stuff that extra stuff that I don't want. And it's not like that's a month to month thing because seasons are 6 months long. So I don't know. Streaming services still trump cable bundles, in my opinion.
I'm just waiting for the app that will redefine the game and somehow combine all of them into like a grid, like a guide. So when you're looking for something, because they're all going to offer live channels at some point.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's what Apple TV is trying to do with their Apple TV, I guess.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, well, I mean, so is everyone else. Like Google's Chromecast, you can have all those platforms on, in their interface. And then you're just kind of switching between the streaming services. And if it gets good enough, Disney's the new Chromecast is pretty decent at being like, if you say I would like to watch Boba Fett, it will recognize that it's on Disney, open up Disney, and do all that. Or if you say something like I want to watch whatever show that's on Netflix, it will recognize and open up Netflix. So you don't actually have to remember, I wanted to watch this, open up Netflix to realize that it's on HBO.
Prime.
Yeah, or Prime. So like I assume Apple TVs are also as good at that. I don't know, maybe not. Or they'll get to that point where
well, it's decent enough because I could be watching something on Plex, and if the Raptors are playing, get an alert that the Raptors game's starting in like 5 minutes in the corner because it feeds into the TV app of the Apple TV.
Yeah, exactly. So like,
so that's the only benefit.
Yeah, it's definitely like mostly there.
We're getting,
and then it's just going to be, how much control, or not how much control, but like I guess how much control over notifications the like cable is going to get, right? Just like you said that, oh, your show that you are interested in is starting in 5 minutes. Like click this button and it'll go right to it.
It is fun. Like we've joked about it before. Like a lot of people were loving the binge watching of Netflix, just jumping everything. You could, go through it. But
yeah,
it is fun having appointment watching again. Like knowing that, this episode is Wednesday. It's like we wanted all of this stuff before, where it's like, oh, I wish I could just watch the whole thing now. I hate waiting a week. But now that we have it all, it's like, it's nice to pace myself.
Yeah, like I like that Disney does their shows, every Wednesday, every Wednesday now. And it's like, once this show finishes up, I think the next one is Obi-Wan Kenobi
in May. Yeah, I think so.
Right. So it's like
something smaller.
Yeah. I can't remember if there's anything in March.
Because they had a good run of as one ended, another one started right after.
And then it was either that, and then it was either a new show started within like weeks of each other, or a new movie was coming out.
Yeah, but they're kind of stuck now until the spring.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, it's like you said, having that, just watch it for somewhere between 20 and 40 minutes. And then,
it's like, it's so sad when buddy of mine is like, I've watched the film. I'm like, yeah, you should watch it. Then I have to say, it's long, but long in the sense that it's the length of a normal show.
Yeah.
Because everything else up to that point is well, this hour-long show is really only like 40 minutes with 5 minutes worth of credits at the end, plus the 2-minute recap of what you just saw last week.
Yeah.
It's like that, like previously on recaps the show, and then you have to do the Lucasfilm, and then you have to do the Star Wars opening, then you have a little teaser scene into the opening credits, and then the episode starts, and then you have your 5
5-minute long.
Yeah, with all the concept art, and then showing
which is
you
cool.
all the...
I really enjoy.
I love the concept art.
Yeah, like the for the Mandalorian and stuff. I would like. I don't think there was a single credits that I skipped because I just thought it was so cool. For a lot of the other ones, I probably skipped them.
Yeah, Marvel, the Marvel
series.
Yeah.
Those ones I was like,
Is there an end credit scene? Is there a mid credit scene? No. Okay. On to the next one.
Yeah.
So I think this year, now that we have the Oscar nominations out, that is the first time I've actually vocally have heard people in the industry bitch about the lack of popular films getting nominated. Before it was usually just like the fans and stuff, but now it's like at the point now where even people in the industry are going, look at the world we went through. Like, look what's brought people out to see movies. It can't just be art films anymore.
Exactly.
And like the big one is obviously No Way Home getting nominated. There's argument can be made about whether or not it should be considered. I look at it, if you're going by critic reviews, it is by far nominated, reviewed better than a bunch of the ones that were picked for Best Picture. So just by that alone, it should be up there.
Yeah. I think I read somewhere or watched somewhere, someone was saying that like just because it is a superhero movie, you know, like why should it just automatically get tossed out? You know, they're like a superhero movie like absolutely cannot win Best Picture. Mm-hmm. And I know we've talked about it probably every single year, you know, around Oscar time, that Best Picture doesn't necessarily mean the movie that made the most money or the movie that has the highest reviews, or like IMDb or Rotten Tomato ratings, all that stuff. The best movie is rarely the, you know, best of those things. And that's why I always prefer like the Teen Choice Awards, because you know, like
that is awards.
Like that is the best of, you know, the things, you know, it's not just artsy movies. If they want, like, why don't they just make a best artsy movie category?
Well, even that, they've had those movies get nominated at Critics' Choice. Those ones get nominated at the Independent Spirit Awards. Like they have award shows for those.
Yeah.
But when you take all those movies from this award show and this award show, and then those are the only ones that are going to get nominated for here because, oh, look, producers like them and these critics like them and these financiers for independent films like them. So I guess, therefore, they must be the best pictures.
Yeah, better. But yeah, it's one of those things where, like, especially this year or these last, well, yeah, this year for sure. But there is one movie, I think, and I don't know how well Venom did, but like there's one movie that crossed the $1 billion revenue, like, you know, tickets, and did it pass 2 yet, or is it still hovering at that like 1.7 or whatever?
1.8, almost at 1.9. Like,
I'm sorry, if a movie gets, you know, $2 billion during a pandemic, didn't open in China, like,
and critics enjoyed it.
Yeah, so like all of those things have to mean something. That you know, it's not just that it's the only movie that's come out. You know, I think there was a lot of stuff when what was it? There was a movie that came out and like they were basically like, we're gonna be in the theater, we don't care. And it was basically the only movie that was out, and it made a bunch of money. And it was like, well, it's the only option. Like, if you wanted to go see a new movie,
oh yeah, you're right. I can't remember what that was, but I want
to say it was Tenet, but I think it was after that, because
Tenet came out and then
came
they shut
out
down
like
again.
right at the end of
Yeah.
and then it was the last movie that kind of came like to theaters. But yeah, there was one or two movies, and it was like, I mean, just because you made that much money being the only new movie in theaters, like that's great for you. You may not have made it if other movies were there. But now we're at the point where like that's not the case. Spider-Man came out alongside a bunch of other movies. There was lots of options of movies to see and stream, and people still
Yeah.
chose Spider-Man. So like that has to count for something. It doesn't
Like
have
I
to be
know
the
people
only
who
thing.
were like you and I saw it when we were under strict COVID guidance. You couldn't even have food
Yeah.
and drink. And I know people who like took their kids knowing these kids are going to sit through almost a 3-hour movie, not have a drink, not have
Yeah.
popcorn like they normally would.
Nothing to snack on.
But it's like, because I'm going to see this movie.
Yeah. And like, yeah, that it doesn't have to be the overwhelming factor in making, this is a good movie, but that has to play a role. And, when you add that in with all these independent films or artsy films, or I don't even know what's nominated. What's the like most like common, I guess.
It's my favorite about doing this podcast is the constant Googling of
Yeah.
what we are talking. I'll make a slideshow, but I'll be damned if I make notes.
Okay.
Well, even if I think back to past years of ones that were nominated, the only one I can think of that was a big, popular blockbuster movie to win was Return of the King.
Yeah. Yep.
Before that, there was a lot of popular blockbuster movies that were nominated, but they lost to the artsy films. Like Saving Private Ryan, I think, was lost to Shakespeare in Love.
Mm-hmm. So ridiculous. Like, it hurts. How? That shouldn't be a thing.
Yeah, like you just think like shit. Like Goodfellas didn't win. Like Pulp Fiction didn't win. Like movies that
didn't even get nominated, right?
No, and then the next year because
that
of the
was
backlash
the thing. They were like,
we're
going to expand from 5 to 10 or whatever.
Yeah, it's like you couldn't do that while you were nominating people this year.
Yeah.
And the other thing that pisses me off too is when you have movies that are up for Best Picture, but they're not in any other category, like not for acting, not for writing, not for directing.
Yeah,
but they're Best Picture.
I mean, I guess that, yeah, like
it's because they have 10. They can fit 10 slots now, so they have to just fill it up.
Yeah, that's true. It doesn't really make sense. Like, you could have, I mean, for sports, it could work that way, right? Where you might not have the best, if on a hockey team, you might not have the best center, the best goalie, the best pair of defensemen, whatever, or the best coach or anything like that. But combined, you might still have a team that wins the cup.
Yeah, you don't have a good director, you don't have good writing, you don't have good acting, but that damn costume design pulled it all together.
The thing is, you might not have the best of those things, but at the same time, your coach is probably in the running for best coach. Your goalie is probably in the running for best, like Vezina. So yeah, like I get what you mean. Where even if you don't even have nomination, even if you don't win those other ones, if you don't have nominations in those other categories,
it looks odd.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you don't have a top scorer, a good goalie, coach is decent, but somehow you guys finished first overall.
Yeah. It's like, how?
Stanley Cup champs.
So of the movies that are on this Oscar list,
is there one you've seen?
Yes, there's 2 of them that I've seen, and
3 that I've heard of.
And I've heard of a bunch of them. So
what are they?
Seen West Side Story and Dune. I have heard of King Richard. That's the one about the Williams twins and Will Smith. I haven't exactly heard of Licorice Pizza, but I made that joke when we were at the theater. I've heard of Nightmare Alley, and then
Guillermo del Toro movie.
Yes. And then I've heard of Don't Look Up. That's the Netflix one.
That one
Um,
is, I know for a fact, is rotten on Rotten Tomatoes.
yeah, I
So
I remember
again,
really wanting to watch it, and then like I generally don't take reviews into like that much consideration, but when almost everybody is saying it's bad, I'm
yeah, and like that's
that's
my
the one I'm
point.
gonna listen to.
So like when everyone's saying it's bad, critics are not liking it, but then that's when I question. Like, it's a political message movie, right?
Yeah.
It's about climate change or end of the world, yada yada yada. So again, that's what people are tired of the Oscars being about now. Is movies about escapism, but you're nominating all these movies that deal with issues that people are dealing with every single day in their real life. The last thing they want to do is go to the theater and watch about, oh, climate change is destroying the planet. Okay, let's go watch this movie that's talking about the thing that I don't want to listen to every single day on the news. It's like next year we're gonna have a fucking trucker convoy film that everyone's gonna be just gushing over because it's political.
No, I refuse.
Speaking of political movies, so I sent you the link for the Jurassic World Dominion trailer. Did you
Yeah,
have a chance to view that bad boy?
I did.
I
I
was.
not right when you sent it. I think it was like the next day. I'm happy those guys are back.
You can take my free movie or $20 or whatever it is,
Yeah,
depending on when I go. But just to see, like, I'm there for them. Like
absolutely.
I said, when I saw like the trailer was out, I'm like, oh great, and then I saw Chris Pratt, I'm like, oh, not so great. And then I saw Blue, I'm like, okay, we're good again.
We're good.
And Baby Blue.
There was one scene in the trailer. I think it was like pretty much the opening shot where they're on horseback,
Yeah,
and like keeping up with these dinosaurs that are like twice the size. Like, well, would you though?
it's all about the horse.
I like how I can't remember who said it. I want to say it was one of these three, but when they're like, why do they always make them bigger? Like,
Oh yeah,
it's like that's definitely like we're all thinking it.
I think the most
Why does it
common
always
meme
just
I
have to be
have now,
bigger?
yeah, the most common meme I find now with relation to Jurassic Park is everybody shitting over the Spinosaurus and Indominus Rex because like T-Rex was king, right? But they're always trying to make something that is bigger, and then they always are taking the T-Rex out now in movies.
Yeah.
So like they had the Spinosaurus take him out in Jurassic Park 3. Someone said like that was more offensive than the raptors talking. And then
That's
like
fair.
and then even like the prologue that they released, there's a scene where the T-Rex gets taken out by I can't remember the other dinosaur. But yeah, a lot of
by the one that was no, Indominus got taken out by the one that was in the water, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just imagine being on that fishing boat in real life and just one of those guys taking your catch. To myself, because I know Ashley want to get it. When he jumps out and grabs the cage from the fishing boat, I'm like, our first catch of the day.
Yeah.
Just popped in my head.
Of course.
Yeah, but that would like he thought like those fishing shows or the deadliest catch, like
Deadliest Catch, yeah.
Yeah. With a big fucking prehistoric dinosaur jumping out. I'd like to watch that episode.
Yeah, I'll sign up for Crave for that.
Yeah. Move over Shark Week. Yeah. But yeah, it's an interesting plot to say the least of like trying to coexist with these man-eating species all over the fucking place.
Yeah, it's also, I don't know how they're gonna talk about it in this one, but like at a certain point after Jurassic Park and then The Lost World and then Jurassic Park 3 and then Did we jump
Fallen
right
Kingdom.
into?
So it's 1, 2. So yeah, Jurassic Park, Lost World. Then it's 3, Jurassic World, and then Jurassic World Lost Kingdom.
And then Dominion.
Then Dominion.
Like at a certain point, you kind of have to cut your losses and be like, we are not going to be able to control these beasts. Right? Like, what makes, and like, I'm hoping that this is the last movie and that they actually, make that call. Have someone be like, listen, guys, just chill. Guys, it has been 30 years. We are not going to win this fight. It's not going to happen. Let's chill. All we want to do, or all you guys try to do, is make the biggest and baddest dinosaur ever, and you couldn't even control the smaller one. So, let's cool it on this and have that just finally be the end and not have a reveal at the, in the last 3 seconds of like a random egg that's, some bird finds a random egg and takes it into its nest and whatever. Like, just kill the program, get rid of the dinosaurs, and be like, look, they're not here right now for a reason.
Yeah, we had a good run. Right?
Yeah.
We tried one park, didn't work. Tried a second park, worked for a little bit. We made some money. We all had a few laughs.
Everybody wanged. Everybody chugged.
I made a few bucks. Let's just pack her in.
Yeah. Now it's
Volcano
time
came,
for the kid to pack it in.
Yeah. Volcano came, took out the island.
That's it.
Took them off island, tried to sell them. People were buying, and people be dying. Now, dinosaurs are out. I call this an absolute win.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. But they say it's the last one until it makes $1.9 billion, and then comes Jurassic Park 7. This time it's a person.
Yeah. It's Adrian's revenge.
Allosaurus' revenge.
Oh man.
Yeah. All right. That's we can wrap her up there. It was fun. Keep it short and sweet. All right. So for Mr. Vishal Chef, this is Cory Wells reminding you all to keep it casual.